Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Next Step Show. This is Pavel Stepanov, and I'm talking about a very interesting topic today. I'm talking about whether new agents who just got their real estate licenses are actually doomed in this industry. Are they going to be doomed in a post-pandemic reality? What's going to be happening? Well, let me tell you why I actually have this topic. I was thinking about what topic I'm going to be presenting, and this thing I think actually hitting close to home. But before we actually get into this, let me tell you that this episode of Next Step Show is brought to you by VirtueDesk. VirtueDesk is a virtual assistant company that provides virtual assistants to handle your small tasks. All right. So when the pandemic hit in March of 2020, that was 6 months ago, a lot of people who I spoke to had no idea what to do. And I've met with a lot of seasoned real estate agents, and some of them actually decided to put their licenses on hold. So a couple of the guys I talked to, they say, well, I'm just going to put my license on hold for a couple of months and see what happens. Well, it's been already 6 months. So nothing's really happening. Another guy I met at the office, and he told me, I am going to put my license on hold as well because I'm frankly very stressed out and I have a anxiety of meeting people because I do not know how to get it done during the pandemic. I don't know how to handle the thing with COVID. I don't know how to get get away without shaking hands or how to meet people. This is a mess. I cannot generate business. So this is a seasoned agents we're talking about, people who have been in the business for years. They already know the market, they have their database, they have their clientele, and they are actually have to step down. Unfortunately, that happens. So does this mean that the new agents who are coming to the market, does this mean that new agents who are getting their licenses are doomed? If you look at this from the perspective of of the industry as a whole, and you see more experienced and seasoned older agents stepping down because they do not know how to operate during this you know weird time. What can we tell about the new agents? So are they doomed? Are they actually in the profession by mistake? They're not supposed to be here. So my take on this is they're actually better off than the older one, and let me explain to you why. I think the pandemic, the lockdown, the whole situation where we had to move virtually to start doing business with people, this whole situation has leveled the playing field for everybody. Let it sink in. This pandemic leveled the playing field for everybody. So those who had better advantage at business by actually having learned the systems, having learned the processes, and getting used to the same way of doing business years and years. Again, now are all on the same level as newer agents who just got their license, and they have to learn the new tricks. And as the saying goes, I mean, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Same thing goes about older agents. Can you teach them newer tricks? Some of them you can, some of them you cannot. Some of them are going to hang their license with different brokerages. Some of them would actually deactivate the license and wait for the better times or until there is a vaccine or things go back to normal. So actually, some people I spoke with, they say, well, Pavel, I am going to just wait until the times go back to normal. Okay, well, if times go back to normal, the market is continuing to go on, the life goes on, and the opportunities are actually happening and being gone. So going back to the new agents, I know several new agents who receive their licenses and they are asking, okay, what are we going to be doing? So the thing is, I believe that newer agents in a better position right now to outperform seasoned agents. The way to do it for some of them is to actually dive in into the world of new reality we live in. Okay, the way to do it is to start uh, educating themselves on the market, learn about the inventory, learn about the any potential new listings that are in the area, know about the what's around it, Because the thing is, you know, knowledge in about the market is one of the things that not many agents actually possess. They know how to maybe sell, they know how to cold call, and they know how to door knock. Well, door knocking is kind of gone right now. Well, you probably can still do it, I guess, in some states or some counties. Um, some states you cannot. Even cold calling in the state of New York, you can only resume cold calling, I think, in September 1st. So from March when the pandemic happened until September, the agents could not call for sale by owners or expireds. So what did they do? Well, they had to actually reinvent new types of way to generate the business. So pandemic, in essence, kind of leveled the playing field and threw everybody into the same pot. And the same people that are in the same pot, both seasoned agents and newer agents, would have to figure out how to crawl out of it. Okay, so they had to, either go virtually, create virtual open houses. They started, hosting virtual meetings, virtual town halls. Some people went ahead and started doing Zoom first time webinars for buyers and for potential sellers. Some people were actually scheduling FaceTimes. I know a guy in Hawaii who actually is a real estate agent, and he's closing probably about 3-4 deals a week in Hawaii, state of Hawaii, where uh, the state has been closed to any out of state travelers or tourists. You cannot really go to Hawaii without a 2 week quarantine. So basically, it's a lockdown of the state. They're still in the lockdown. So this guy um, has been selling real estate in Hawaii weekly, closing deals to selling to out of state buyers. How does he do it? He's doing it on. He's going doing face meetings on FaceTime. He's doing Zoom, and he's doing walkthrough of the property with the FaceTime. And again, you don't need somebody right now to be physically present to sign documents. This all can be done with modern technology. You don't need to meet somebody in person to actually conduct a meeting. There's a Zoom for that. There's Google Hangouts. There's a FaceTime. You can just literally go on a FaceTime and you know meet up with people and talk to them. Okay, easy. It can be done. All right. So again, um, learning the market, learning the new inventory, and learn how to work virtually. This is the most important component of real estate industry right now. Okay, it's very important to have a great team along with you that can actually help you out. Sometimes, I mean, I have my personal tech team that helping me to put those webinars together, to help me put those podcasts, and to help me run the companies I own. You got to have a great team. I also realize that when you're a newer agent, you probably don't have the money or resources to hire an assistant, so you are your own assistant. And that's why actually our sponsor Virtue Desk is here to let you know that you can hire a virtual assistant for a fraction of what do you think it would cost you to hire somebody in-house. Speaking of hiring somebody in-house, this is a different topic on its own. When real estate agents started to work from home, the value of the brick and mortar office has diminished. And since all the business has been taken up online right now, it's all virtual. So people are working from home. People are working from, maybe co-working spaces. Nobody's coming to the office no more to work. Well, I do, But again, my office is more of like escape sometimes for to do things that I need to get done. I have to meet with my team, but this is still not. We have a real estate office here. We also have other companies here that are being operating. So it's different for us. However, most agents decided to actually switch to online brokerages. You know, and this is something for new agents to consider when you are hanging your license, which company you want to hang your license with. Do not look at the companies that have the fancy office, because frankly right now offices are irrelevant. Even big tech companies like Facebook, Google, Twitter, they all right now announce that their employees will work from home. So they don't get a fancy office anymore. So why should an agent be actually picking an agency where he's hanging his license at be based on what kind of office or proximity to home? So that's another factor to consider: proximity to your house. When you pick an office out of which you're going to be working, does it really matter whether this office is located next to your house or 5 or 10 miles or 50 miles away from your house? It does not matter. And here's the reason why: because number one, you're probably never going to set your foot in there unless you're actually coming to pick up the commission check, which again right now is mostly done on wire, so you're never actually setting your foot in the office. All right. Second, when clients hire you, they do not hire your office. They hire you as a professional because you know the market, you know the inventory, and you know the marketing. You know how to market the house. So these people hiring you and not your office. So sometimes people are misled and they thinking, if let's say from a perspective of the consumer, if I am hanging my light, if I am going to sell my house, I want a local agent to handle it. So my question to those consumers is, why would you need a local agent to handle it? They say, well, because they know the area very well. However, chances are local agent may actually not live in the area. Their office happens to be located in that area, which doesn't mean anything. Okay. Number two, um, the prospective buyers who are going to be buying your house most likely not going to be from the same area. They're going to be from somewhere else coming to your area. So why does it matter if a local agent is selling it? It doesn't. So when you're actually picking your office, think about those perspectives. And the things to look out for when you're picking an office where you're going to hang your license with, if you're a new agent, is number one, cost. How much is it going to cost you to hang the license there? Are there any monthly fees, or is it a big commission split, any transaction fees? You have to evaluate everything. Okay. Number two, how is this office set up to be run completely online? Which means the meetings with the office managers and the team, the online support of all the documentation, how is it being reviewed, back office software, how is it being handled, the marketing, any kind of support for marketing being done, um, by the by the marketing team, completely online. Okay, so think about that. Okay, some people think that marketing team at the office is gonna be helping you with the flyers. Sure, they can help you create online flyers, but coming to the office to print out the flyers, it's kind of like 2019, guys. So we're in a new reality. Number one, you probably cannot even pass out those flyers right now anyway because of the social distancing. So, um, you know, think about that. Again, passing out flyers, that's an old way of doing business. This is 2019. People do not pass out flyers anymore because of COVID. All right. So if you're a new agent in 2020, you get your license, you are actually in a better position to be successful than agents who more seasoned than you are, because the seasoned agents are actually learning new tricks, and it's hard for them. They have some learning pains where you are, in order for them to learn that, they have to break old habits. Okay, breaking old habits is kind of tough for some people, especially if the agent has been in the industry for 20, 30, 40 years. It's going to be really tough for those folks. Okay, if you're a new agent, you actually have a way better perspective. Okay, because you don't know the old tricks, you're only learning the new ones. So again, adjusting to the new reality and starting in a new reality is actually going to be beneficial to you. I frankly think that the new reality that is being developed right now, that being kind of molded, it's going to be with us for a little while. Okay. So since it's going to be with us for a little while, even post COVID, when the vaccine comes or whatever, it's going to be decided that we're no longer in a pandemic. But the way that we actually got used to doing business is going to be with us in some way or form. anyway post COVID. So it is best to start adjusting now. Um, I think the idea of a virtual office is basically it's going to be with us for way longer because again, people are more productive when they work, remotely. They save time on commute. Again, when you drive, you cannot answer your phone or text or send a quick message. But when you're working from the comfort of your home, you can do it. All right. Also, the consumer is adjusting to the new reality as well. So don't think just because the pandemic hit and you cannot longer do business the old way that you would be doomed. No. And on the contrary, the consumer is still out there. They're looking to buy or sell, and they need your help. So adjusting to the new reality is what basically needs to happen. Okay. So new agents are not doomed. New agents actually have a benefit, the benefit of not knowing old tricks that right now do not work in the new reality. Okay. So my advice to those who are new, who just got their license, hang your license with a brokerage that is not expensive, that has the best support, that is online, that is virtual. So you don't have to, drive to the office, and you don't have to, because sometimes, frankly, if the office is not virtual, they are right now adjusting to it. Okay, most companies are adjusting to being run online. So that's going to be new reality. I think brick and mortar offices is is actually last century or pretty much last year. Okay, 2019. So brick and mortar offices are 2019. We're 2020. This is a new reality, guys, and it's not doom and gloom. So I'm not telling you about doom and gloom. I am telling you that um, it will be interesting transition even to a post-COVID era, a post-COVID era that's presumably after the vaccine or when basically the pandemic is under control. So that's gonna be what you would need to learn, and that's something that would need to adjust, or not even adjust. Adjust probably not a right word for it. I think more will learn those new realities and new ways of working. Okay, so speaking of advertising and marketing, guys, you live in a tremendous, amazing era of social media. This is your best advertising platform. Remember, like when a company is advertising on Super Bowl or on TV, and they have to spend millions of dollars to place their ad on, you know, on a commercial for a TV. Those days are gone. Okay. Um, Frankly, I don't know anybody who's actually watching TV personally. I don't watch TV. All my news are online. Most people get their news on online, either from social media on Facebook, they're reading the headlines. Come on, this is the reality we live in, or just going to the news articles or clips or YouTube. So it's pretty much out there. So that's where you have to be, guys. And as a new agent in a new generation, this is would actually be more. Beneficial to learn and to adjust it to your business, implement it into your business. Be on all platforms where you can be. Okay, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, all YouTube, all those platforms. Make sure you're everywhere because this is, as some great coaches say, there's no wrong way to generate a lead. So social media is basically where you're going to get your leads. Okay, because a lot of agents think, okay, I'm new, where do I get my leads? Okay, the leads come from your advertising, from your sphere of influence, and basically for you being out there in a digital world platform so that people can see you, because this is the audience is there. That's how they're going to see you. Okay, the age of billboards is gone, the age of TV commercials are gone, the age of printed advertising is gone. So it's all digital. And the pandemic kind of actually fast tracked us to that reality. We were already moving in that direction, and the pandemic kind of put like foot to the gas pedal to actually get us to that. So we're there now, and don't be like the agents I told you in the beginning of the podcast that putting their licenses on hold or feeling very overwhelmed because they do not know how to work the client during the pandemic. They do not know how to sell the house during the pandemic. They're overwhelmed. They're quitting. They're basically upset. They're depressed. Don't be like that, because the reality is, regardless of how we feel about it, regardless what do we think about it, it's here with us. Okay, we need to learn, and we need to actually operate under the new guidelines, under the new reality, and in the new business world. This is happening, and again, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you like my podcast, please feel free to subscribe. Listen us to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any platforms where you're listening to podcasts. Make sure to find it. It's on Next Step Show with Pavel Stepanov. And make sure to subscribe and hit share. I really appreciate your share, guys. If you have any questions or would like to comment, I'll be happy to discuss it with you in the comments section. Meanwhile, I wish everybody a great day. Have a great upcoming weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.